Consumer Reports just published its 2026 predicted reliability ratings, and 10 SUVs scored high enough to make this list. Today, I'm going through all 10 with my honest take, counting down from the lowest to the highest. And trust me, the last one on here beat out a name that's usually considered untouchable. Let's get into it. Number 10 is the Subaru Forester Hybrid, with a predicted reliability score of 63 out of 100. Now that number needs some honesty around it, because the overall score tells a different story. This thing actually ranks number 1 out of 26 compact SUVs overall, thanks to a 92 out of 100 road test. But pure reliability at 63 puts it behind the RAV4, the Tucson, and even the CR-V. Good, not great, and worth knowing before you assume number 1 overall means most reliable. What's actually earning that road test score is real. This is the redesigned 6th generation Forester with a fuel-saving hybrid powertrain layered onto everything people already like about it. Excellent outward visibility, a roomy rear seat, and a genuinely comfortable ride. Consumer Reports measured 34 miles per gallon, which is strong for the class, and the controls stay simple instead of getting buried in a touchscreen. Here's the real catch, straight from CR's own testing. Stopping distances are long, not a footnote. A flagged low on a vehicle that otherwise earns a perfect 5 out of 5 Consumer Reports safety verdict, with automatic emergency braking, blind spot warning, and rear cross traffic warning all standard. Owner satisfaction backs up the good parts hard. 90 out of 100 on driving experience, 88 on comfort. Value drops to 53, which tracks with everything else Subaru's making right now, sitting at number 1 of all 31 car brands Consumer Reports tracks. Great to drive, great to own, just don't confuse the overall score with the reliability number underneath it. Number 9 is the Subaru Crosstrek, with a 78 reliability score. I'll be straight with you on this one. That number holds up because of what's underneath it, not just the badge. CR's road test calls out a comfortable ride, predictable handling, short stopping distances, and real fuel economy, with standard all-wheel drive on every single trim. No AWD tax, no separate trim tier you have to climb into just to get it. Where it costs you is the infotainment screen. CR flags it directly as laggy, and owners report needing multiple presses just to change the temperature while driving, the kind of friction you feel every day, not just on a test drive. Safety-wise, it earns CR's better verdict, 4 out of 5. Automatic emergency braking is standard both in city driving and at highway speeds. Blind spot warning and rear cross traffic warning are optional though, not standard, so that's a box you actually have to check on the build sheet. Owner satisfaction backs the number up from a different angle. Drivers rate the actual day-to-day driving experience at 80 out of 100. Comfort lands at 75, value drops to 61, which is really just the cost of the badge at this point. Subaru as a brand currently sits at number 1 out of all 31 brands Consumer Reports tracks, and number 1 among mainstream brands specifically. The Crosstrek isn't some outlier propping up an average lineup. Right now, it's just what Subaru does. Number 8 is the Toyota RAV4, at more reliable than average. But I want to slow down on this one, because the headline number is doing more work than it should. The 2026 RAV4 isn't a refresh. It's a complete ground-up redesign. New sheet metal, an all-hybrid lineup now that the gas-only option is gone entirely, and screens stretching up to 12.9 inches. This is a different vehicle running different technology than the RAV4 that spent 6 years earning America's trust as the best-selling SUV on the market. Here's the part CR doesn't put in the headline. That more reliable than average prediction is leaning on the outgoing generation and Toyota's overall brand score, not actual survey data from this new model, because that data doesn't exist yet. CR's own advice, generally, is to wait until the second year of any redesign before fully trusting the numbers. None of that means avoid it. Toyota's hybrid systems have a long, genuinely excellent track record, and the brand's reputation is earned, not inherited. But a first-year redesign carries real, honest risk that a bare, more reliable than average label doesn't communicate on its own. If you want the RAV4, Its reliability story with zero first-year uncertainty attached, the outgoing generation is still out there on lots and still running on a fully proven platform. If you want the new tech, the bigger screens, and the improved fuel economy, you're the early adopter. Toyota needs to prove this platform out. And that's a real trade-off, not a footnote. Number 7 is the Toyota Crown Signia, at more reliable than average. This one's an odd shape in the lineup, essentially a tall all-wheel drive wagon built on the same platform as the Crown sedan, running a 2.5-liter hybrid 4-cylinder through an eCVT. It's not chasing the Highlander crowd or the RAV4. It's chasing someone who wants a sedan's driving feel with an SUV's ride height and cargo access. CR's road test is genuinely complimentary here. It's easy to get in and out of, the front seats are comfortable, and that taller roofline over the sedan translates into real rear seat headroom that the Crown sedan itself doesn't have. Fuel economy is strong for the segment too, since the hybrid system carries over from Toyota's proven playbook rather than launching something new and untested. Where it loses people is the second you actually put your foot down. Step on the accelerator and the engine noise gets dramatic fast, with real vibration coming through into the cabin. This isn't a vehicle built to feel quick, and Toyota isn't pretending otherwise. It's built to be quiet and composed at a cruise, not off the line. The honest read on this one: you're not buying the Crown Signia to enjoy driving it hard. You're buying it because you want the Crown sedan's comfort and the Camry-adjacent hybrid reliability, but you're tired of ducking your head to get in and out of a low-roof sedan, and you want the extra cargo room that comes with it. If you're finding these breakdowns useful, hit that like button, share it with someone who's actually SUV shopping right now, and subscribe. We've still got more on this list, and the ending is worth sticking around for. Number 6 is the Toyota Corolla Cross, and this one deserves more attention than its spot on this list suggests. Consumer Reports ranked it the second most reliable vehicle in its entire lineup this year. Not second among crossovers, second among every single car, truck, and SUV they tested. Only the Subaru Impreza beat it. That's not reliable for a cheap subcompact. That's reliable, full stop, next to vehicles costing twice as much. The catch is the driving experience, and reviewers across the board are consistent about it. The gas-only version is noisy under hard acceleration, and the CVT drones on the highway. It's not a fun car to drive. It's a car built to disappear into the background of your life and just start every single morning. The hybrid version is the one to actually pay attention to here. It's quieter, noticeably better to drive, and gets real-world fuel economy that puts most of the segment to shame. If you're cross-shopping the gas and hybrid trims, the hybrid isn't a nice-to-have upgrade. It fixes the one legitimate complaint people have about this vehicle. Build quality is where Toyota's reputation earns its keep. This platform isn't new for 2026, so unlike the RAV4 sitting a few spots below it on this list, there's no first-year redesign asterisk to worry about here. What you're buying is a known quantity with years of real ownership data behind it, not a bet on an unproven generation. Boring to drive, nearly impossible to break. For a lot of buyers, that's the entire pitch. And if you want the full picture beyond just SUVs, I already broke down every car Consumer Reports considers nearly perfect for 2026, not just this segment. Click the link above and watch that one after this. Number 5 is the Tesla Model Y, and this is the surprise result of the whole list. Consumer Reports named it the most reliable electric vehicle they tested this year. Not just the most reliable electric SUV, the most reliable EV of any kind, ahead of every EV on the market. That's a bigger claim than it might sound like, because EVs as a category still generate meaningfully more owner-reported problems than gas vehicles industry-wide. This isn't a Tesla squeaking by on a technicality. It's genuinely the best of an entire category that usually struggles. The reason it climbed this high comes down to time, not luck. The Model Y's powertrain and suspension have had years to mature since the rough early production runs. This isn't the same car it was back in 2021, when panel gaps and paint problems were showing up on brand new deliveries constantly. The drivetrain itself is the part that's earned this ranking, and it's earned it the hard way, through real fixes over real years. Here's the part CR's own data still flags, so this doesn't read like an ad. Fit and finish complaints haven't fully gone away. Owners are still describing panel gaps and paint issues in enough detail that it's a genuine pattern, not a one-off. The mechanical side of the car has caught up. The build quality is still working to catch up to it. So the honest version of this segment is simple. Buy it for what's under the skin. Just actually look over the panel gaps before you sign anything. Number 4 is the Lexus RX at 69 out of 100. That number needs context because it drops behind two names right next to it. The Porsche Cayenne sits at 71, and even the BMW X5 comes in close at 65. The RX has spent more than 2 decades building a reputation as the quiet, comfortable luxury cruiser with reliability to match. That reputation isn't gone. It's just not leading the pack the way it used to. CR's road test still backs up most of the legend. A genuinely well-finished cabin and generous rear seat room, the kind of details that make a 2-hour drive feel like 20 minutes. Where it loses ground, rear and side visibility is compromised. A handful of controls aren't intuitive, and CR flags the current powertrain as less refined than the previous generations. That last one matters. This isn't nostalgia talking. It's a direct comparison to the RX that came before it. Safety earns a solid 4 out of 5 CR verdict, with automatic emergency braking, blind spot warning, and rear cross traffic warning all standard. Owner satisfaction holds up nicely too. 86 out of 100 on comfort, 77 on the actual driving experience. Zoom out and Lexus still sits 6th of all 31 brands CR tracks, 3rd among luxury brands specifically. The RX isn't falling apart. It's just no longer the automatic best-in-class pick it used to be. And at this price range, very good isn't quite the same promise as the best there is. Number 3 is the Porsche Macan. And yes, a Porsche this high on a reliability list is not a typo. CR ranks it 5th among the 22 luxury compact SUVs it tested, and it's the single best reliability model in Porsche's entire lineup. Not the sports cars, not the Cayenne, not the Taycan, the Macan. The gas-powered version specifically is the one earning that ranking, so if you're cross-shopping trims, that's the one this result is actually about. Here's the part I want you to actually walk away with, though. Reliability and cost of ownership are two completely separate conversations with a Macan, and mixing them up is how people end up blindsided. 5th out of 22 means it won't leave you stranded. It doesn't mean it's cheap to keep. Past the 40,000-mile mark, oil seeping from the valve cover and timing cover gaskets becomes a known, recurring issue. Control arm bushings wear out around the same window. The PDK transmission can start clunking on the shift between reverse and drive. None of that is catastrophic. All of it runs $800 to $1,500 a visit, and it's not a rare surprise. It's close to standard once you're past that mileage mark. So the honest version of this ranking is simple. 5th out of 22 luxury SUVs is a genuinely strong result, and Porsche earned it. Just budget like you already know the maintenance bill is coming, because it is. Number 2 is the Toyota 4Runner, and this is a genuinely bold result for a first-year platform. CR rates it much more reliable than the average new car, the same top tier as our number 1 pick coming up. What makes that number so surprising is what changed underneath it. The old 4.0-liter V6 is gone, replaced entirely by a 2.4-liter Turbo 4, and that's exactly the kind of change that made a lot of longtime 4Runner owners nervous going in. New engine, new platform, no 6-year track record to lean on yet. It's built at Toyota's Tahara plant in Japan, a facility with a reputation for exacting build quality, and the early survey data is actually backing that reputation up rather than just riding on it. A brand new engine scoring this well this early is not the default outcome. Most redesigns take a generation or two to earn a score like this, and the 4Runner is doing it out of the gate. Here's the part worth separating out though, because reliability and refinement aren't the same conversation. CR's own road test flagged an unsettled ride and clumsy handling on the base trim. That's not a reliability complaint. It's a driving feel complaint, and it's a real one. So the honest read is this: the 4Runner is very likely to keep running for a long time. It's not necessarily going to feel composed doing it, especially on the base trim, and that's worth knowing before you're the one behind the wheel on a rough road. Number 1 is the Honda Passport at 97 out of 100, the highest score on this entire list. This generation shares its bones with the 3-row Pilot, same 114-inch wheelbase, but Honda cut 8 inches off the length, added an inch of ground clearance, and wrapped it in genuinely burly body cladding instead of just slapping an off-road badge on it. CR's road test backs up the reliability number 2, a smooth V6, short stopping distances, and controls that are actually clear and easy to use instead of buried in menus. Here's the one real catch: straight from CR's testing. Handling agility is lackluster, and transmission performance is inconsistent. That's the 10-speed occasionally second-guessing itself at low speed. Real complaint, not a deal breaker. Owner satisfaction tells an interesting story on its own. Comfort scores 91 out of 100. Genuinely excellent. But value comes in at just 31, which tells you people love living with this thing and still think they overpaid for it. That's not a reliability problem. That's a pricing conversation. Zoom out and it fits a pattern. Honda currently sits fourth of all 31 car brands Consumer Reports tracks and second among the 17 mainstream brands. This isn't a lucky outlier sitting on top of a shaky lineup. It's Honda's whole approach working exactly as intended, with this SUV as the sharpest example of it. 97 out of 100 isn't a rounding trick. It's the real number, and right now, nothing else on this list touches it. If this helped, hit like, share it with someone car shopping, and subscribe. More reliability breakdowns like this one every week.